Hi, I'm Russ with Delaney Drafting and Design, and this is another video in the series of me documenting my journey on learning how to mine cryptocurrency. So this is our main rig right now. You can see it's pretty well finished at this point. Right now I have a keyboard and mouse and a video screen hooked up to it. I've been having a little errors and problems. I'll go over that really quickly, but I've been using this to keep an eye on it. But so you can see the rig better, this is what we've done. I had first the 3060 Ti, and then we added two 3070 Ti's into it, and now we got two 3090 Ti's. And for me to power these, what I did is I went and I incorporated the server power supply that I had initially bought, so I could power those two off of that. So we have two power supplies: the Topower 1800 that's driving these three cards, and then the server power supply driving the two 3090s. And well, of course, for me to accommodate for all that, I put some more fans on there, and I even have some other external fans here to help with cooling down. Now this is it's running pretty good, but like I said, I've had some challenges. I'm going to get all the numbers straight. I just got in a wattage meter, and I'm going to record the wattages of the one power supply, and then the second power supply, and then the whole rig, so I can get an actual calculation on how much wattage the whole thing is pulling. But right now, it's probably worth noting too, I have two different UPS backup power supplies for the two different power supplies on the rig there to keep everything protected. When the rig is running, each one of these UPSs is pretty much at its maximum load. I couldn't run the whole rig basically on one UPS, so that's why we got two there. So that's a quick breakdown of the additions, how it is right now, all the new little things that we've done to it. And really quickly, I'm going to get into what I've done here with these numbers, because this is what we were doing. I'm using T-Rex Miner, and the drivers are this version 510.73.05, and the best working configuration that I can get with this rig is these settings for my core memory and power. For the 3070 Ti's, I'm at 1000 on the core and 2000 on the memory, and 200 on the power, and I'm getting exactly about 78.59 megahash for both of those cards. Now I got the 3090 Ti's at 1150 and 2150, and the power is at 330. That's a mistake on the spreadsheet. They're both at 330 on the power, and they're each getting 125, 126 megahash. The 3060 Ti, that's my settings there on the core and the memory. I can't read the temperature on the memory, but the power is at 130, so we're getting just under 60 megahash. So we're maxing out here at just under 470. It's 468 megahash for the rig. What I was trying to squeeze out, because I'm thinking that I should be able to get about 480 megahash total on this rig, but help me out, guys. This is what I'm doing. I change up the settings. For like instance on the 3070, I go 90 on the core and 2400 on the memory, and then 200 on the power. And I was impressed. I'm getting 80 megahash. And then same thing. I changed the core and memory on the 3070s, on the 3090s, and basically you see I got it all the way up, almost up to 480. 80 on both of the 3070s, 128 on the 3090s, and then over 60 on the 3060. But after I did this, after a few minutes of it running like this, then I got an error in the log here on HiveOS. This is what it was saying: GPU driver error, and it gave me this GPU health data. Latest GPU driver errors list, and I honestly don't understand this. But I know this is the load average. It shows you down here and then up here. And the numbers, when it was in this error state, you see it stopped hashing. It wasn't hashing anymore. I wasn't getting any specs, and actually I wasn't getting any power draw from the power supplies. So anyway, again, I'm not sure what load average is here, but it was giving 10.66, 4.73, and 2.02. And I know when it's running normally, it's 0.71, 0.72, and 0.57. Same thing down here. It said load average 10.66. It seems like really high, I guess. 0.63, 0.71, and 0.57 is what I'm normally running when the thing is hashing just less. Like I said, when I'm getting about 470 with those overclock settings, I don't know. I think I'm kind of mildly overclocking things here, and then it gives me this error. So I've gone back to these working settings here, and I just left it alone. When I was having the problem after overclocking using these settings, and the miner was just not working properly anymore, and I got these errors about the GPU driver, I decided what I was going to do was just simply update the drivers. They weren't the latest drivers, so I went into HiveOS, I updated the drivers to the latest version, and then the rig started working just fine again. But the only thing is when it was working fine, the 3070s were getting like half of the hash rate. It was about 40 or 45 or something. So then what I ended up doing at that point was I went and I reverted the drivers back to that version. It was this version here, 510.73.05. And then when I installed those drivers, then it brought the hash rate up on the 3070s back up to close to 80. And when I did that with the drivers, it seemed like it was working fine. So since that point, I just simply left it alone. Another thing that I noticed, and feel free if anybody has any comments or any advice on that, I appreciate it because I've spent a lot of time and I just kind of gave up on that. I'm settling for getting that mega hash. But I noticed with the exact same settings on my two different 3070 Ti's, the temperature on this one is usually 84 to 86 and it stays like that. But the other 3070, it seems like it's always wavering around 90 degrees. And in researching this, I've heard plenty of people say don't get excited until it's 100, maybe 105. But it does show red on the HiveOS when it gives you the stats right there, and I just kind of don't like that. So also it seems like I have to use a lot of accessory cooling, other fans, and running the AC and stuff like that to because if I don't, then it keeps going up higher. So my plan is, with the 3070 Ti here that's doing this, I'm going to take it apart and replace the thermal pads on there, and hopefully we're going to see if that works to bring it down. I've heard a lot of other people saying that is effective in doing so. So that's where it's at right now, and that's my plans moving forward. And of course, when I'm at that point, then I will be giving an update on where we're at right now. I know that we're coming towards the end of Ethereum mining, so my next plan will be to actually build a spec miner machine and start figuring out what other coins and methods I'm going to be using for mining. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to hit the bell for notifications.